Hey everyone, today I want to make a video on building the life that you choose. Okay, not following the path that is recommended of you or that you feel kind of like narrowed into. No, that's not your destiny. Not as an autistic person. Trust me. You know, there's a lot of fear, doubt, and uncertainty these days. And I'm understanding of it. I mean, the job market is pretty tight. Financially, prices are just going up and up, and people's wallets are a little more thin. Wealth divides are crazy these days. I get it. I get it. It's not the easiest time to be alive right now. But also understand that you are still a human being and that there's still so much opportunity in the world. We're in the age of the internet, social media, AI. I mean, these things, opportunities are still completely out there. And due to poverty, trauma, or whatever else, happened in your life, a lot of times you're carrying limiting beliefs that are spread from your parents and from just the previous generations that tend to instill an idea in you that you don't have a choice, that you need to just succumb to the pressures, do the smart thing, do the safe thing, make sure that you can save up for retirement and just not mess up your life. And in a way, there is some wisdom to that. But on the other hand, if you're not choosing the life you want to live, what are you even doing? You're not being yourself. You're not actually making this an enjoyable, exciting life for yourself. And, you don't have to choose every part of your life, but I just recommend bringing in more choice, okay? So you might perceive your life as follows, I need to work hard so I can make money to cover my basic expenses, maybe buy a house and save up for retirement. Maybe some of you are just just hoping for a job that I can, get by with. And I think a lot of people's biggest life projects are starting a family or having a little side project. And these days that tends to come with this idea of if things go my way, if I get a little bit lucky. And if all of this is you or feels familiar to you, then it seems like your aspirations might be a little bit limited. And you could use a bit more support. You could use a bit more motivation. So that's why you're watching this video. And you hardly ever hear people talking about building the life that you choose. Often those people get ridiculed or they get seen as just oh yeah, that's just craziness. But you're autistic. You are unique. The world doesn't know who you are. It doesn't know what's best for you. It probably will never perfectly provide that unless you choose it for yourself. You build it for yourself. You find it. You follow your desire for a life that fits you perfectly. If you aren't thinking about choice, you're going to stay in a submissive state. And what I'm talking about is a very simple switch. You say, instead of not choosing and just letting life happen to me, I'm going to choose my life. I'm going to be very deliberate about what I want, about who I am, and I'm going to be strong in that. And these things don't happen overnight, I'm not saying you can just go and just, tomorrow land the perfect job, whatever. Of course, I'm not saying that. Life is a struggle. There's a lot of struggle in life. And a lot of times when you go after what you want to accomplish, you're going to run into roadblocks. You're going to run into things that make you want to quit. Things that make you, that doubt your belief in that thing. But the people who really make it are the people who don't give up on that life that they want. They don't give up on their want or their desire to make a choice for themselves. This is really what choosing yourself is and knowing your worth is. And again, if you're autistic or neurodivergent, I think you need this more than anyone else. Partly because I mean, let's be real. A lot of us have trauma and limiting beliefs around maybe having a diagnosis or just anything else in life. And we're the ones that need the most specialization, and the ones that have or that are sitting on some of the biggest talent and potential. So you need this more than anyone else, and you deserve it. Choose for yourself. Follow that burning passion, that burning desire, and just be strong in that. That's it. That's my message. I wish you all a beautiful day. And if this resonated with you, please comment down below, and I'll see it and respond. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and till next time.